Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. The time is 8:01 a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. It's Monday, the 26th of June, the last week of June, and a new month is coming up, July. And if you're like me and you look at the calendar every single morning of your life, you will have to notice, wow, the year's going by rather quickly. Wow, we're already about to be in July. Very, very soon. So for all you July birthdays coming up, get ready. Hope that you guys had a great weekend, a positive and a blessed weekend. We have an awesome interview and show for you guys this morning. We have a conversation that's very long overdue. And our guest today is Township Trustee, Mr. Sam Nunez. How you feeling?
I'm doing well, Curtis. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm doing good, my brother. Doing really well today. This interview has been a long time in the making, so we're going to be teaching folks today about what Township does and different aspects of government, why they should take part. But also we'll begin to know about you and many different things, man. So how was your weekend to start off with?
You know what? It was a great weekend. I spent it with my wife and my kids. We celebrated our 6th wedding anniversary.
Okay.
So exciting and blessed to be able to celebrate another year.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ate some good food, went out?
Oh, yeah. We went to MJ's restaurant on Friday night, so that was kind of cool.
Okay. All right.
With the little guys, and he's got his own little Michael Jordan basketball now in his year of the Jordan because it's 23.
Right.
So they're promoting that at the restaurant, Year of the Jordan. So he got some posters to take home. None signed by Jordan himself, but close enough.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. All right. So it's 8:03. Good morning to Juan Cayetano, all of you great people tuning in today. Irene Carollo, Jennifer Ryan Mayton. Good morning. Wishing y'all a successful day out there. Same to you as well. So a lot of people have not been familiar with Aurora Township.
Yeah.
But the township structure is a form of government going back a long way. What is, in the time that we have, what's the history of Aurora Township?
Yeah, so a little bit about Aurora Township. It was formed back in, I think it was the early 1850s. Between 1852 and 1856, it was established. And actually, if my memory serves me correctly, I think the city of Aurora at that point had not been incorporated yet, but there was already an East Aurora and a West Aurora before they incorporated into one in 1856. But the township was in between that time frame. Since then, generally speaking, the township is mandating to cover 3 functionalities within it. General assistance is one of them. Property appraisal for local taxation is another, and maintenance of roads and bridges. Those are the main functionalities of the township. But there is so much more that goes into that and so much more that our taxpayers are paying into that they need to be aware of. But generally speaking, that's a little bit of history behind the township itself. The way it's structured is similar to what a municipality may look like. Mm-hmm. You've got your mayor and your alderman speaking in that terminology. But on the township side, you actually have your township supervisor, which is currently Bill Catching. You have your township trustees, myself, and my 3 colleagues, Township Trustee Dolores Hicks, Township Trustee Juanita Wells, and Township Trustee David Moore, alongside our Township Clerk, which is Cassidy Alexander. So we all govern the Township Board, overseeing not just Township itself, but the Highway Department that is encompassing of the Township government as well, along with the Appraiser's Office, who is overseen by Davis Offit, and the Highway Department overseen by Jason Owens. So that's kind of what our breakout is and the structure of what the township may look like. So if you got your body of government here, you got your highway department here, then you got your appraiser's office over here. So all together, that's a big chunk of change there, and folks basically governing your tax dollars on seeing what we're actually utilizing them for. That's a little bit on kind of what the township is and how it's structured. Did that kind of answer kind of roughly what you were looking for?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Okay.
And with that structure, so that structure has been in place the whole time. Now you work in the township building, the one that's on Broadway.
Yeah,
down
so
there?
we actually have two buildings, and I know it may be random to some folks who see it driving down Broadway, but that nice little brown and white building on the right-hand side, on the corner of Spring and Broadway at the dead end there, that's actually the Aurora Township office building itself, a centralized building where we have both our assessor's office as well as a township supervisor's office. And our writing cane program and general assistance program is also funneled through that building as well. But we also have our youth center which is located at 313 Gale Street over here on the west side. I actually used to work there back in the day. That's kind of like what started all this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, we were gonna get into like your initial history with township and everything. Now, how long have you been trustee?
Yeah, so it's been roughly around 2.5 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're loving it.
I'm loving it. I'm serving my community more so than anything, and on top of that, I'm able to make change directly at the places that I thought needed change, especially like I said and mentioned earlier, places where I used to be employed at, such as the youth center. And there's been a lot of great things happening, not because of me, myself, and I. It's been a collective effort and collaborative effort, not just with the other township officials, but along with other admin that actually facilitate the township on a day-by-day basis. So big shout out to Patricia Richardson there at Township office, our Director of Youth Services, Ken Maurice, over there at the Youth Center. I know Mr. Dan Morello knows Ken really, really well.
Absolutely.
Ken's a pinnacle piece of the community as well, and we're glad to have him on our team.
Brian Moreno is here. Good morning to you as well, sir. And Jose
morning,
Art.
Brian.
Jose Art, what is up, brother? That's correct. And Ken Maurice was one of the recipients at the Everyday Heroes Breakfast. Three Fires Council, many great organizations brought that together. So shouts out as well. Now, you used to work at the youth center.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your very first time or introduction to township?
Yeah, so funny, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up. To many folks in the community and many folks out there, even when I was not knocking on doors during the campaign, a lot of folks were wondering, what the heck is township? Well, number one, look at your tax bill and you'll see it on there. You're being taxed for township dollars. Number two, what does it do for me? Well, there's a lot that goes into the township that a lot of folks could. Let me reference this real quick. Number one, be sure to write down the AuroraTownship.org website and go on there for any reference points in my discussions here, just so that way we can ensure that you guys get, number one, the knowledge that you're needing. Number two, the pieces of information that you're looking for.
Right.
Gosh.
Ken Maurice? The Township Youth Center.
Yes. So when I first started working there, it was actually after high school. Go Tomcats! I'm a Tomcat, by the way. So after that, I began working there at the Aurora Township Youth Center, and I was overseeing after-school programs, helping facilitate soccer programs there, and all of this was brand new to me, and I had no idea that there was this building in the middle of the neighborhood, with these after-school programs facilitating about 30 to 40 kids every day after school. Mm-hmm. We're talking 2 o'clock till 7 o'clock at night. Looking at the big picture of things, you see the impact that makes on a family. Back then, we were charging $5 a year for kids to come to our youth center. $5 a year.
Dang.
Drop them off at 2:30, pick them up at 7 o'clock. You get a snack, you get tutoring, you get a safe place and a safe haven for your children to come to. I mean, talk about a big bang for your buck. Now, we still have that program still in place to this day.
Right.
It's not a $5 charge. I don't even think there's a charge associated to it anymore, but we can reference that off of the website soon. But either way, that's still a program that's still in place. And that mindset that I had coming in and seeing at the big bird's eye view in terms of knowing that these kids are in a safe spot in their community, especially during the time when things weren't looking as great or up and coming as they were now in Aurora. And seeing the impact that made really kind of opened my eyes to seeing, wow, there's another piece of government here that is literally able to help their constituents directly. And it's not saying that many other bodies of governments don't help their constituents directly. They do. but it's all funneled through other organizations sometimes, or having to be funneled through grant programming, things of that nature. Our dollars go directly to the community here at the township. So when we talk about general assistance, that's helping folks who are needing, obviously, general assistance, rent assistance, issues with their bills, and there's applications and things of that nature for that as well, and requirements that one has to abide by. That's one big thing that we offer. Our Ride and Cane program, which helps seniors basically get transported from one location to the other, which is very dire and needed to those folks who, number one, need to go to their appointments, to their doctors, shopping, just want to enjoy and live life instead of being stuck in one place.
Right.
And we're able to provide that to them with the Ride and Cane program. We're a big sponsor of that. Senior Services Association, which we're a big sponsor of and big supporter of as well, is another pinnacle piece of the township, where we provide services for these seniors to, number one, ensure that they have equitable stance on what they're doing and what we're doing with their tax dollars. At the end of the day, they are still paying taxes. Mm-hmm. And number two, ensuring that, we're taking care of these folks. To the conversation before getting on air, we have folks in the community who are pillars here. And not only are those individuals who are in elected offices are pillars of the community, but the seniors in our community as well kind of laid the foundation for this community to come to the fruition and come into place of what it is today. So it's always good to look back and kind of serve those folks. It's very important to not forget that. And it kind of comes into the full picture, right? Back into the youth center. Mm-hmm. So back then, again, I was unaware that there was such a place where these kids can come to. And seeing that impact really was a forefront for me to kind of get involved a little bit more than what I already was, but really trying to take it the next step and running for office later on. And that's kind of what occurred here.
That's what's up, man. That's good. The time is 8:12 a.m. So that's a full circle picture, though, too. And I know it's got to mean a lot more to, I was young here. At one point in time. Now I'm back in a different capacity and able to really help people out. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Zaira Chavez, good morning, dear friend. Daniel Calderon, good morning to you as well, brother. Cindy Morales and Aisha Saxon, good morning to all of you dear and wonderful people. Yes, that's right. You are looking at him in the flesh. It's been a long time coming. He's been the white whale of this Moby Dick story, and I've been Ahab trying to catch Sam Nunez. We got him.
I love that.
We've got him on the show today, ladies and gentlemen. So now, in addition to Township, and this is where I think having you on the show is doubly as powerful. The benefit to taking part in your community for young people, getting involved, learning who's running, perhaps running, canvassing, knocking on doors, making phone calls. It's not just a candidate issue. It's a quality of life issue. It's bringing up our collective neighborhoods and being responsible for what goes on, sharpening that message and carrying that message to people, being the driving force. So being a young person who's been involved in this, what has that process been like? How has it been for you? Has it been revealing? What have you noticed? And what's the strength of being a person who's taken part in your community through voting and things like that? Time is 8:14.
Yeah. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating at times only because you're out there for a purpose. And there's a lot of times, and I'm sure we all have drawing boards where we have our thoughts and we put it on the board and we try to make it come into fruition. And you go out there trying to tell the people, hey, this is kind of what I want to do. This is why I want to do it. And it can get into go on flat ears.
Right.
And it could be disheartening for those who don't know the process or who are ignorant to, honestly, what diving into politics, or not just in politics, but diving into what your local community or your local governments are doing.
Right.
It's a daunting task because, number one, you don't know where to look.
Right.
Even though we have resources in front of us, it's difficult to even start that search because we're unaware of where to start.
Right.
And then it's also difficult in terms of trying to communicate out and reach out to those in the community that you're trying to get that guidance with, because at the end of the day, they're people as well, and they're busy. So, in terms of trying to get that quick communication and understanding, okay, am I doing this correctly? Should I be doing this differently? It gets a little frustrating in that aspect of things. But the bigger picture at the end of the day is what one should always be focused on. You asked about what impacts we can make in our communities and why it's impactful to be part of, involved in your local government. That's the biggest thing I always shout out to people is, yes, we have our federal elections, but there's election cycles right after that many folks forget about,
right,
that we need to be aware of, because local elections do matter. Our votes do matter.
Right.
And we talk about the impact of our votes. Locally, they do matter. People can lose an election by 5 votes. And it's happened here in the city of Aurora. Mm-hmm. So we think about those impactful things and how we can go about and ensuring that we communicate it. One voice, one choice. Not one choice, but one voice.
Right. I knew what you meant.
Yeah. So I would say that would be one of the cumbersome things, is kind of getting over those obstacles of, okay, the what ifs. But once you get past that and understand that it is perseverance, you just got to push on forward and work collectively as a group, to your point, then I think that is definitely impactful and beneficial in terms of trying to get your voice out there and getting involved in the community. I'll tell you this. I tell folks all the time, young and old, especially the young folks, you got to start young. Luckily, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, you have to start young.
Yep.
I think I was 16, 17 years old when I was introduced to my mentor, rest in peace, Mr. Art Velasquez. And I actually met him at an East Aurora school board meeting when I used to serve as a student board representative for East Aurora School District. And so he came up to me and said, young man, you need to get involved in your community. And I kind of looked around saying, well, I'm the only one here. I'm involved, I guess.
Right.
No, there's much more beyond these 4 walls that you have to do. And he really made that big picture for me to understand that although we're going in one direction, sometimes we kind of get distracted and we enclose ourselves within those 4 walls and we become comfortable and complacent in a sense. But once you kind of look beyond that and see the bigger picture of things, of knowing that you can make such a big impact, such a huge impact just beyond these 4 walls, it is big. It is big. And I'll tell you this. I mean, the Aurora Dems, so I've been part of the Aurora Dems since I was 18, the precinct committee person since I was 18 years old. And it's gone up and down, but that organization honestly has been pinnacle and the pillar to helping establish us, not just as a party here in the city of Aurora. And I'm sorry, am I supposed to talk about parties?
Keep going, bro. Keep going.
All I'm trying to say is
that's why I'm being quiet.
Yeah. Just need that good core group of individuals and leaders that kind of help guide that, because at the end of the day, we're elected officials, but we have a collective group behind us and a collective voice behind us that kind of helps us put us at this pedestal that we need to be at, to ensure that, number one, we're serving the community in the way that we should be, and number two, to ensure that obviously at the end of the day, we're doing our due diligence as to what we said we were going to do. But yeah, that's a little bit kind of like a big circle moment in terms of why it's very important to get involved locally, because the impact is there. It is very much so there.
Representation matters very much too. And I think that's one of the things that's a strength that not just yourself have, but the township and Aurora Dems have, because you can look at the people who are a part of the organization and see the full spectrum and representation of people here in Aurora. Mm-hmm. And I think that's been very powerful when I've seen pictures of you guys all clad in the shirts and everything, supporting the correct issues and candidates, what have you. Mm-hmm. I do like that, because young people can see, like, hey, I can be a part of that too. Like, the ideas that I have matter too. And I think for a long time, though, in general, the perception has been for young people that that's something that their grandparents are into, man. That's not, what can I really do? So what's, there's nothing there for me. And it's the opposite. It's the opposite. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, like, start young.
Yeah.
Start young.
Distractions are always there, to be honest, right? Even nowadays, even more. Distractions for our youth are everywhere. These phones in front of us, whatever's in their pockets, God only knows what's in their backpacks. Like, there's everything that distracts these kids nowadays. And it's our job, honestly, to kind of put that communication out there that, hey, you need to, number one, be involved. Number two, if you want to see a change in your community, the only way to do that is actually being involved in it. There's something I truly, truly live by, and I really do. So I'm a proud Tomcat, as I said. I live in East Aurora School District still, within the boundaries, because I believe that in order to change your community, you have to be involved in it.
Boots on the ground, baby.
All day. And that's something I truly believe in. So in terms of being a taxpayer, I'm a proud taxpayer of East Aurora School District. My son is a East Aurora School District student, part of their Jumpstart program, 0 to 3 years old, by the way. So
okay,
he's only 2.5.
Okay,
he's only 2.5, but it's a Jumpstart program for that age group.
Right.
But so it's a bigger circle moment. So understanding where your money's going in terms of your taxes every year, knowing the school districts, what they're doing with your money. We got great representation on there with Dan Burrow, Alex Aurora, Annette Johnson, and all the others on there. They're doing a great job right now, East Aurora. So knowing those things, a lot of taxpayers don't know what's going on in East Aurora or in the township or in the city of Aurora. And that's only because of not looking into exactly what they should be looking to, but to what we're discussing, they don't know where to look in the first place.
Right.
So it's just being out there, boots on the ground, ensuring that you're communicating the same message, sometimes drilling it in their heads over and over to ensuring that being involved is important. You want to change, you have to be involved.
What did you know now that you didn't know before, and when was the moment that you discovered it? Times 821. What was that thing where you were like, oh, wait a minute?
Man, that's a trick question, honestly. I'm trying to think.
Mm-hmm.
A wow moment for me, basically, huh?
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the, just within the frame of township of what it does and your personal growth and experience.
Oh, well, I guess actually once I got into the board, as I mentioned earlier, when I was working at the Township Youth Center, I just thought the township was the youth center, and there was a board of elected officials that just ran the youth center itself. I didn't know that it encompassed a whole nother building and 2 departments between the assessor's office and the highway department, and that those 4 board members, the 5 board members, are overseeing budgetary constraints between all 3 departments and ensuring the equitability within the township. So these are all things that I was kind of like wowed once I walked into office and got my first packet in front of me and was like, oh man, what am I doing here? Civics did not teach me how to do this. But you learn quickly,
right? And
you have to learn quickly. Number one, you're doing a job at the end of the day. You didn't just get voted in just to have a title, like we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I got voted in to serve the community and serve the people in my community. So definitely, I'm lucky few to have good mentorship around me that I could reach out to other elected officials to kind of give me guidance in terms of, okay, what is this, or what does this mean here? And legal experts that know the, verbiage on the legality side of things. Okay, I have those individuals I can reach out to too.
Yeah.
But and that's another key piece that folks need to remember is at the end of the day, you need to ensure that you have that good core group of individuals that you could really go to for anything you need.
Right.
They're pillars for your life continuing on, because at the end of the day, one way, shape, or form, those folks are going to be coming back to help you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. The time is 8:23 a.m. This is a fantastic episode that we're having and conversation interview with our dear friend Sam Nunez, Aurora Township Trustee. So as I mentioned, we're going to go to a brief commercial so I can do some of this local news here. Good morning to you, Michelle Gums. She's here. She says, good morning, Aurora. Right back at you, dear friend. Tracy Duran is here. She says, good morning. Valerie Trainum, Juan Cifuentes, and Myrna Molina. So proud of you, Sam. Aw.
Man, thanks, Myrna.
That's nice. Very cool.
That's one of those mentors I'm telling you about.
Absolutely. Colleen Berry Putton is here. Good morning. Brett is on vacation in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Frog in the corner and eagle riding. Crambone. Good morning to the family out there. And Joe Jackson is here. Good morning to you, Joe. Okay. So, couple things, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll get back to our discussion here. The CAAN County Golf for a Child Invitational is going to be taking place at St. Charles Country Club this year. It's going to be August 14th, their 20th annual. Sponsorships are available. CAAN County is a guardian ad litem nonprofit volunteer organization that advocates for the best interests of children in abuse and neglect cases within the juvenile court system. Very important and good work that they're doing for youth who are in the system, unfortunately. CAAN County has been serving Kane County since 1988. All right. When REO Speedwagon played a sold-out show at River Edge Park in 2021, the city of Aurora gave the iconic band a key to the city. That's what I'm doing it for. Key to the city. This Labor Day weekend, Illinois Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will use that key to unlock another amazing REO Speedwagon live show. Vroom, vroom. Saturday, September 2nd at 8 p.m. at River Edge Park. Tickets are on sale. All tickets are $50. Now, that's a great place to plug in something that Jim Jarvis of Paramount and River Edge Park told us. You know, the whole point is to be accessible. It's for people to take part in it. Yeah, no, it's not just the city having some cool stuff, but people can't go to it. No. You should be able to take part in the things happening in the city. That's why the tickets are affordable. Bring the family. Have a good time out there. Okay, now Broadway or Bold series. Let's do Broadway. Paramount has the Broadway series book out with all of the great stuff that's coming up. 4 show subscriptions start at $56. And man, there are some humdingers here, ladies and gentlemen, humdingers. Little Shop of Horrors, Roald Dahl's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Billy Elliot, the musical, and Beautiful, the Carole King musical, are all some of the great ones coming to take place. August 30th through October 15th is going to be Little Shop of Horrors. I'm looking for this one here. Nominated for 7 Drama Desk Awards, including winner of Outstanding Musical. You guys know the story. Seymour Krelborn, meek and mild, ekes out a living at the failing Mushnick's flower shop until one day he discovers a strange and unusual plant he names Audrey 2 that feeds on human blood. Seymour becomes caught up in a wild scheme of trying to acquire fresh blood, right, for his carnivorous plant, all while attempting to save the love of his life from her evil dentist boyfriend. Oh, God. Oh, I can't wait. The time is 8:27 a.m. Okay. So now we find ourselves in the post-COVID era that we can pretty much say safely. How was it dealing with Township through the COVID through the COVID pandemic? And were you on Township then at that time, or were you running at that time?
Yeah, it was kind of a unique situation. It was at that transitional period of when COVID kind of started per se, and kind of escalated up there. And then I got into office, and we were still doing during that time frame of COVID. But it was unique, I got to say, just because I say Township government is very hands-on. Very much so hands-on, and a lot of our services that we provide are hands-on, boots on the ground, to your point. So it was very difficult because those services we couldn't do hands-on. For example, our senior services, our seniors had to do a lot of virtual meetups, so they had tablets, at least, that were accessible to them to kind of like do meetups on there, but it's not the same than in person.
Right.
Our youth center obviously didn't have much children in it because of the legality behind that from the state back then. But so it was a unique situation, I gotta say, just because Township is very hands-on.
Right.
And so I'm kind of glad we're kind of. It was a blessing in disguise as well, though, only because during that time frame, a lot of work was able to be done. Our youth center has been revamped. It's phenomenal what they've done. The work in there, again, big shout out to director over there, Ken Maurice. He's done a phenomenal job over there at the youth center.
The field too, right? Wasn't the field part of the redo?
The field on Montgomery Road.
The Township Youth on Gale Street. It has a field, right?
Oh yeah, so that. Technically, that belongs to someone else.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we do use it.
Okay.
We do use it for our soccer league, actually, and it's another plug-in right there. We
Township Eagles.
AT Eagles. I got to give a big shout out to Joseph over there. He has a heart of gold, man. I've known him since I worked at the youth center.
He's a good brother,
and he was basically a participant. He was a after-school program participant.
Yeah.
And to see him full circle come back and serve his community through thick and thin, through COVID, through everything. I mean, I'm telling you, that guy has a heart of gold, and his team is kicking some butt. And that's what I love to see.
Yeah, we're both on the neighbor projects board as well. So I
Oh, really?
Yeah, I met him. I met him years. I met him in 16 or 17 or something like that.
Okay, a while back.
A very long while back before I was an employee for Neighbor Project.
Okay.
I went on a trip to the city, a big CLI Community Institute thing. It was a couple days. Put us up downtown, and I rode with him on the train there and back. It was an experience.
It was an experience.
Like, it was really cool. He's a good dude.
He is. So it's crazy to me to see him from yay big to now he's basically almost as big as me. But the point is that, seeing him being a product of what the township was able to provide and offer, and he does mention that, like, the programs were beneficial to him because he had a safe place to be at.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's a story for many to tell out there. But Joseph, heck yeah, that's such a great guy.
Time is 8:31 a.m. What are the boundaries of township? Where does township begin and end?
I was actually going to hope to get into that.
Oh, my brothers. I'm telling you,
Great
man, I've been
minds think
waiting
alike.
for you, dog. I've been waiting for you on this show. So you are, yes, dog, we're going to get into it. Gloria Gerardo, good morning.
So one of the misconceptions is, hey, I don't live in township. And I will say this, 150,000 of you Aurorans live in Aurora Township and within Aurora Township boundaries. Whether you live in unincorporated or within city limits, you are considered part of the Aurora Township. And I'll give you those boundaries. North, we're looking at Route 56, so Butterfield Road. East, we're looking at roughly Eola Road area. South, I would have to say Montgomery Road area, and west would have to be Orchard Road.
That's a huge place.
So everything within that is Aurora Township.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Whether it's unincorporated or city limits, so everyone can take advantage of all the services we have to offer and the programs we have. I say that because it is available to every taxpayer here in Aurora Township. So
good to know. Good to know. Yeah. So finally, we solved the mystery for the boundaries. What is the website?
Yep. Let me give it to you verbatim.
All right. I'm going to put the website in the chat for the people.
So it is auroratownship.org. And great thing about the website, folks, is it just got redone. Actually, this is a brand new website.
Oh, look at this.
It's about like 2 months old.
Yeah, because I remember how it used to look. It used to look like...
You used to get a gift card from Walmart or McDonald's.
Yeah, seriously. It was like super pobre. This is grand spanking new.
That's all comical. That's all comical, by the way. I just say that because if you were to go on your phone and go into the township website before, it would be a VPN hazard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad. So what type of are there any anything coming up? Any calendar events that's coming up within township that we should know about? We do our diligence to try to post everything that you guys got going on during whenever we see something.
Yeah. So next month, I know we do have our annual barbecue fundraiser with
Phase.
It's probably going to be 5Bs.
Okay.
But recently we had our Kids and Boats event, which was spearheaded by Trustee Hicks. She does a great job in the community. Man, there was a lot of kids out there. I'll tell you that.
Right.
Last year, last year we had roughly around 30 kids. And this year, I think the number was over 60.
Dang.
So double the amount of kids there. I brought my son again for the second time, and he can't get on the boat yet. You have to be 7 years old, but we were throwing some rocks in the water. So basically, it's a kids and boats event. Thank you to the St. Charles Canoe Club and all our sponsors who kind of helped out in the event. But 60 kids were able to learn how to ride a boat for the first time, get on the water for the first time, put on a life jacket for the first time, some of these kids. And it's just impactful to see some of the stuff and experiences that we can provide to them. Rightfully so, because we don't know where else they may be able to experience that or if they ever will be. So it was kind of cool seeing that happen down at Mastodon Lake, Phillips Park. But I know we do have the 5Bs event next month, and I will be sure to plug you in on that.
Okay.
Hopefully, so you can share it with the community there.
Okay, very cool. Now we did talk about the sites too. And how many, approximately how many sites does Township have?
Yeah, so there's a highway department that's located off of Route 56, site number 1. And then there is Aurora Township Central Office, which is on 80 North Broadway, right in the corner of Spring and Broadway. And then we have at 313 Gale Street, the Aurora Township Youth Center. And then we have our soccer facility on the corner of Jackson and Montgomery Road. 2 huge soccer fields, one for youth, basically between the ages of, 4 to 10. And then middle school and up and high school plays on the other field. We have a playground set over there. I remember this because I actually was part of the team that helped build the playground set and revamp the entire field back in 2012.
Oh, wow.
When I worked at the youth center, yeah. So I remember we got a grant for that, and again, full circle, it's crazy. But we got a grant to build a shed up front and the playground equipment in the back. New soccer field. Basically, we were able to flatten out everything and ensure that the kids had a safe spot to play. But again, all of it for the community.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Time is 8:36. And what exactly does a trustee do? What is the position of a trustee within a township structure, local government structure?
So I guess the best way to describe it would be sort of the checks and balances of it all.
Okay.
So it's, again, the 4 trustees and the township supervisor. We are basically the checks and balances, overseeing everything within the township itself, the highway department, the assessor's office. When we have our monthly meetings, they're twice a month. That's kind of where we review budgets, we review expenses, bills. We approve some, we don't. There are addendums that have to be placed in. There's different resolutions that have to get passed. All these verbs and terminology I'm just using, just collectively thinking off the top of my head. But those are just basically things that allows us to move the government forward in the direction that we need to. So whether it's because the budget needs to get passed on adding a new equipment at the youth center or something like that, or a resolution has to be in place for whatever reason, all those go into place to ensure that, number one, we're taking the legal steps and checking the right boxes and ensuring that, hey, these are going into place in the right way, in the right direction by state law. And number two, that we're being equitable with the folks in this community on what we're passing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So checks and balances would be the best approach to look at it as.
Okay. And how long do you serve for? How long are your terms for?
Yeah, it's a 4-year term.
Okay.
Yeah, 4-year term.
All right.
So
man.
It's coming up not 2 years from now.
Okay.
Yeah. This ain't a plug for that, by the way. So this is just a conversation. I want to make that clear.
Very well said, my brother. Very well said. So now we find ourselves with a great summer upon us and a whole lot of things that are taking place in the city, more things to come, and then, within the township structure too. When things get made or built, and you mentioned the highway department too, that is, what is the Aurora Township Highway Department? That was correct?
Yeah. So the highway Commissioner Jason Owens, he oversees the highway department itself.
Okay.
He just passes along any budgets just for us to kind of review or updates on things that are going on at the highway department. But he has jurisdiction over that himself.
Okay. So what is that like when it comes to working with the city for any, highway or street related things like that? Do the two overlap? Is there are the duties shared, or how does that work?
I can't go into details. That's more for Jason Owens, but I do know that they do overlap, and there are partnerships established in specific areas around the city.
Okay.
Where unincorporated and city limits kind of overlap, and so if the township's already there, well, okay, they just communicate, hey, why don't you just take this road over? Okay. Vice versa, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So there is somewhat of a partnership when it comes to the streets and maintenance division of things, and other areas as well. Just like with the state and any other type of local government, so with the village of Montgomery and things of that nature, we have partnerships all around, basically, with those municipalities as well. But it's a gentleman's agreement.
Okay. All right. Understood. Time is 8:39. Now, you mentioned that you're going to be going on you're going on a trip. Do you go to Iowa? When are you going for work?
Oh, no. Yeah. I got on a work trip today.
Okay.
Yeah. Iowa.
Can you detail any? You going to Iowa, man?
Iowa,
Can you tell us anything about it? I mean, is it secret? Is it top secret?
It ain't top secret. No, not at all. No, so
if it was, we wouldn't know where we were going, Curtis.
So beyond the township, I have a full-time job, folks.
Right.
And I'm a full-time daddy. But no, it's a blessing having those children. But no, full-time job. Yeah. So I'm part of a business solutions team, and what I do is I work with independent shop owners across America, specifically in the Midwest, and putting them at the same playing field like any other corporate shop ran out there. So that's my job, is basically put them at that same pedestal as those other folks, and ensuring that they have the same tools and resources needed to be at the same playing field.
Very cool, man. Yeah. Very cool. Time is 8:40, ladies and gentlemen. So what can, how can we, or the people, the folks, how can we help Township? How can we help Aurora Township? Certainly by taking part in the services provided. But how can we help Township? And what does Township need to keep things going? I
will say, honestly, voice your opinion.
Okay.
Come to our meetings, voice your opinions on any concerns that you may think. There may be, honestly, 80 or 90% of your concerns that we have no jurisdiction over, because Township is very limited on what we can do.
Right.
But there's always a plug and a play where we can fit in for somebody in terms of their needs. And that's kind of like where I like to start the conversation is, hey, just tell me what your needs are, and let's see where we fit in for you.
Right.
And honestly, that would be the biggest thing, is just ensuring people come out to our meetings, which let me plug in actually.
Right.
That way folks are aware.
See, you learning, brother. You learning, because I was going there.
Let me get them meetings up. But yeah, no, definitely. I think it's very important just to ensure that you voice your opinion, and to your point, and to both of our points earlier, being involved. And what that means is, in whatever capacity you can, folks are scared to get involved sometimes because they think they have to go, full throttle at it, and they don't. It could just be an email sent out to their local representative. It could be attending a meeting. It could be helping canvass for someone that may be running for office that you feel like their beliefs line with your beliefs. So whatever capacity that you can get involved in, just do it. I mean, it just takes one step forward, and that's it.
Right.
We're looking for this. Darn.
The meetings.
I got it. It's here.
Johnny Felix is here. Good morning. Michael Rayford, good morning. Josue Pais, good morning. Get to know Harry Beast Dog Parlor. If your dog, if Fluffy needs get the nails trimmed, go there. He even has the minty dog bites. Did you get those the meeting?
Yeah, I did. Yep. I did. Wait, let's go back there. How do you know about those minty dog bites?
Not because I've eaten them.
I like that.
I've been up there. We took the tour.
Yeah.
He showed me. Showed me. Josue, you know that.
So we've got our next meeting coming up here on July 13th, Thursday, July 13th. So it's second and fourth Thursday of the month.
Okay.
So if you can go from the 13th on to the end of the year, basically is when our meeting schedule is. And again, you can find that at auroratownshiporg under meeting schedules. But yes, definitely come out to one of our meetings. Voice your opinion, voice your concerns, good or bad.
Right. Okay. I love it, man. I love it. So what's next for you?
What's next?
Mm-hmm. What's next?
Well, ensuring that I do my due diligence currently in my role as township trustee. Mm-hmm. Most importantly, due diligence as a father, continuing doing that. And ensuring that, I give back to the community that helped allow me come into the place, become the person I am today, and get into the places I am going to today only because of the community that I was surrounded by.
Right.
So I hope that I could be that for someone one day. I had my pillars of mentors. So.
Right. What does, in your opinion, what does our party offer that's the best for mankind or humanity, or on a local level, which is what we're talking locally?
Our party?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Acceptance altogether. And that's key. I come from a very, I don't want to say unique, because it's not unique. It's accepted now. People would use the word unique before in terms of family, but I have folks from all over in my family, and I love it. And I love it because there's rainbows, there's everything. And that's something that I'm happy my children are exposed to. Because this world doesn't revolve around me and the little box that I put my kids in.
Right.
They're going to be out there one day and they need to be number one, assimilated into the community, and ready for this world, to ensure that they understand that accepting others because they're different is okay. Not everyone has to be the same.
Right.
And that is important.
What can we do to get more Latinos and members of the Latino community to take part by voting or getting involved?
I think that's been a hot topic conversation for many, 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 many years, specifically here in the Aurora community. Mm-hmm. And I say that not just speaking for myself. I say that out of experience with other folks and even experiences and campaigns I've run in. It's really old-fashioned. Get the word out there, knock on doors, go to people's homes. That's really the only way you're going to get a lot of folks out. We got Facebook. That's a great way of communication. We got a lot of folks on there. These little devices can be so impactful, because a 30-second video or a quick post on a date to vote, or what does township government do, or what does the city of Aurora do with our tax dollars? Those are all important things that we can get the word out by utilizing this. So I think if we continue on in the path that we are in terms of a unified voice, the acceptance of others, and just old-fashioned knocking on doors, there's nothing like it. I'm telling you, there's nothing like it.
Right.
That will get the voice out substantially. Obviously, ensuring that we're being inclusive when it comes to language barriers as well, and that's just reality of things, right? A lot of folks may not know English, so speaking in Spanish, I'm bilingual, just FYI. But we always got to ensure that we are inclusive, not just in Spanish, but in any other language as well needed. Because if we're a party of acceptance, then we got to ensure that we communicate that in whatever language needed to be.
And how can we help you? How can anyone watching or any of the folks here, how can we help you in township? I think I already asked that question. Did I already say that?
Basically, how can folks help in the township? Yeah, okay. But me specifically, I'm a humble man. I'm a humble servant. I'm here to serve others. So whatever I can do to help, just reach out. I will ensure that I give my communication to you, though.
Great.
Before the end of this. That way, at least you can share that with the folks.
Absolutely.
My email address and contact info and stuff, because I would definitely like to have a conversation. I always, I put my numbers on everything. So those folks who knew me when I was walking the campaign trail and heard me knock on their door saw my number on there. So I had quite a few folks call me, and I answer. So give me a call.
All right. The time is 8:47 a.m. So I'm going to take another quick commercial here real quick, and then we'll get back for last words with our dear friend and guest, Mr. Sam Nunez, Aurora Township Trustee. This has been an interview that's long in the making, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm having fun with this. But you need to know what's happening here, because I know what you're thinking. I know you're like, Curtis, man, mix it up, baby. Give us some health, give us some wealth, and give us some entertainment. So here's your entertainment. Prepare to be spellbound by the award-winning musical Next to Normal, playing July 26th through September 3rd in Paramount Theater's intimate new Copley Theater in downtown Aurora. That's right across the street from the Paramount Theater. Winner of the 2010 Pulitzer Prize for Drama and nominated for 11 Tony Awards and winner for Best Musical Score, Next to Normal is thrilling, courageous, and timely storytelling at its best, all set to a contemporary rock music score. It's also an ideal show to set the tone for Paramount's second Bold series, a 3-play lineup of classic and contemporary works for those who crave live theater that is intimate, honest, fervent, and emotionally intoxicating. That word combination right there did it for me. Single tickets are $40 to $55 and are already on sale. Previews start July 26th, including 2 Pay What You Can previews, Thursday, July 27th at 7 p.m. and Saturday, July 29th at 2 p.m. Press openings are Wednesday and Thursday, August 2nd and 3rd at 7 p.m. I love that because now, that applies to me now when I see that. Curtis, you got the press release, right? Yeah, that's what
Yeah, take me with you, brother.
Yeah. People are like, Curtis, what are you doing it for? The press release, dog. That's what I'm doing it for, man.
I love it.
Okay. Tracy, Goddess Love, all stirred event. Good morning to you as well. Josue Pais, y'all tell them to fix them potholes.
I saw that.
They don't fix potholes. Do y'all fix potholes?
The highway department does.
Okay.
But let me clear another misconception.
Right.
So the highway department oversees roads on an incorporated side of things.
Okay.
If that's within city limits, you may want to call your alderman.
Okay, right.
Or alderwoman.
or whoever it could be.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. All right, time is 8:50. So we got we talked about so much this morning.
Yeah.
We talked about so much this morning, and I've asked this of our guests many times, but I'll do it early for you. Did we forget anything? Township covers a lot, and there's a lot that you gave us today that we didn't know, that I didn't know, especially the boundaries that were very helpful. Mm-hmm. Was there anything else that could be of benefit to the listeners that we forgot? Did I forget anything?
No, I think we touched on everything, but I do want to ensure to tell folks that, once again, just get involved. Take the phone. You all have got it on your hands. Reach out to the township offices, myself. I don't just represent the township. There's much more representation behind me and many more people behind the scenes that are putting the pieces together to ensure that the township is up and running. So we are all here and open and available to answer any questions. So I just want to make that clear to everyone out there. Because even after this, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of folks that are going to say, well, I don't know what township is, or I didn't listen to the show, so can you tell me what township is? And that's totally fine. That's what I'm here to do. But just know that that is also a good reference point that everyone has and that they have accessible to them.
Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we talked about a lot today. Michelle Gum says, good stuff, Sam. Hope to see you all tonight. All right. Awesome.
Yeah, that's
Great
right.
stuff. What's happening tonight? Tina Bowman. Good morning.
Alderwoman Bowman.
What's happening tonight?
What's happening tonight?
Yeah.
Michelle Gum's event.
Oh, duh.
Nice plug-in, Michelle. I love it.
Michelle Gums is a dear friend of the show. She's a really awesome person, man. Seen her all around the place. She's a wonderful person to know. Shout out to her and APD doing the most for the people of Aurora.
Yeah,
man.
very much so.
Okay. So I need to get back on Facebook. So the thing about Facebook, we talked about this before the camera came on.
Yeah.
Something's up with Meta, man. Like my events. So anytime I see Michelle Gums do anything or anybody else, especially Barb, like I'll hit the event interested or going to the event thing.
Yeah.
I'm not getting those anymore. They're not coming across my notifications thing. I mean, if you know, I'd like to.
No, actually, now that you're saying that, I think that's what's been happening to me.
They're not coming through my original notifications, like right up top and everything like that. They're not populating up there. So a couple of things have been going on, like Barb's social justice meeting is taking place. I didn't see that coming up. So it's like I'm a little bit behind on stuff. Anyway,
we get lost without our calendars.
Facts.
And it's true.
That is a fact, dude. That is a fact. Man, I enjoyed interviewing you.
Oh, I enjoyed this very much so.
I really did, man. You've been a really you've been a great person to know. You've been a strong friend. I feel like we're friends, man. And after seeing you so much, getting to know you and hearing about you, and as I mentioned before the camera and the mic came on, so Alex Arroyo, dear friend, he had first mentioned you, and I was hearing your name through him. And then I saw you running, and Good Morning Aurora had existed at that time. And that's kind of when I was learning. Again, I didn't know what township was. So I was seeing who's who and what's what and township trustee and doing my research too. And I interviewed Cassidy Alexander.
Yeah.
And I interviewed Bonnie Kunkel.
Yeah.
And
great people, both of them.
Yeah, that was really it. And had been learning and everything. And after meeting you and talking to you, man, I'm glad to meet you and glad to know you.
No, same here. And I know every time we meet, we're like, hey, we got to get that beer. Well, we still got to get that beer.
Yeah, we still got to get that beer. We've not.
Our the audience is 21 and over only. Sorry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, these people know that they know where we hang out at. McCarty Mills, shout out Tavern, shout out,
Hey, so I like that. I like that. Shout out French 75.
French 75, the French. Absolutely. Great place. Great place. Braden and Hope. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the time is 8:54 a.m. I hope that all of you people have a great day, a blessed day, and a really positive day. We've got more of these to do with our friends of Township and other folks in elected government. So this will be a learning series. We're going to catalog these and make a playlist out of it too. Sam is kicking things off for us first. Michelle Gum says, I have to go and each folks' page to like a stalker to find this info. Meta is not on top of the game. No, they are not. No, they are not.
Thank you for answering that.
Seriously. I do it all the time. I go scan and make sure I didn't forget anything.
Yeah.
All right. The show ends on a positive note.
Yeah.
What is your message today for the people of Aurora?
Folks, stay focused. Stay positive. Curtis, I like you using that word.
Mm-hmm.
Positive perspective beats all. And ensure that you get involved. That's all you need to do. And things can start changing.
Absolutely. Get out there and vote. Get involved in your community. And let's all be the change that we want to see locally. Ladies and gentlemen, a fantastic episode today. We appreciate Sam for coming in. Take care of yourself.
Thank you, sir. You too.
And
always a pleasure.
Each other. Oh, man, I love this.